What is going on, everybody? Welcome back once again to the channel. So today I got another reaction for you. So this one here is titled The Three Men You Meet at Night. Okay, very interesting. So it looks like this whole film is going to take place at night. Hopefully they're not the three wise men from the biblical story. I'm hoping they're three completely different men, but we'll have to find out. So this one here is by Alter, and as always, I leave the original link for the video down below in the description area if you guys want to check this one out for yourselves. But in the meantime, stick around and we're going to check this out together. I'm going to react to this. And as always, I give you guys my thoughts after the film here. So I have no idea what to expect. All I know is that in the description, it talks about a man that is walking alone at night, and that turns into like a surreal nightmare. So very, very interesting. If you guys are enjoying the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and also that bell notification so that way you're notified whenever I upload. I do want to upload every single day as much as I can. Weekends usually I'm busy, but during the week I want to do that as much as possible, whether it's in the morning or in the afternoon or at night. Doesn't matter when, but I want to upload a video for you guys, or two or three, however much I can, so that I can give you guys some good entertainment and also let you guys know my thoughts at the end of the videos. So let's go ahead and check this one out, you guys. Let's get scared. Oh, wait a minute, it's a young woman. I read young man for some reason. Some loud high heels. Girl, you better run. You didn't hear that before. Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Get out of that street. Take shortcuts. I don't know, something. She's like in the main street. She should have just called 911 right there. Maybe have a police cop like guide her home or something. Oh my God. At the second man. Oh my God. Man, she's sprinting in high heels.
Okay?
That's...
We were just messing around.
I'm fine.
I saw you at the party.
I know, I saw you too.
Do you want to ride? Shouldn't be walking out here by yourself.
I mean, he seems nice. Oh my god.
It's got a killer combat system. You can't call it a combat system if it does the same thing over and over. It's the best.
How far was she from home?
Graphics
Jesus.
are total shit. How would you know? You only ever play WoW.
Oh my god, her phone's going.
Where are you going? Just go straight through. It's 3 blocks down.
I know where you live, Jess. I have to get Pete home for curfew, but I will drop you off next.
Oh my god. Shit, man. It's like that red light is symbolizing like this is a dead end. Can't go back
Sit up
home.
here. You can choose the music.
What are you doing?
I want to show you something.
I really have to get home. My mom's gonna kill me. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, dude.
What is this place?
Some old camp. I'm glad I ran into you tonight.
Yeah, me too.
How come we never hang out anymore?
Dude, be nice, man. Don't be taking
I
advantage.
guess we're just in different groups now. What you doing?
Oh, thank God.
What are you doing out here? This is private property.
Sorry, officer, we didn't realize. We were just leaving.
Everything okay, miss?
I'm just trying to go home.
Would you like me to bring you home?
Yep. Yes. Say yes. Say yes. Good. Oh, please don't tell me the cop is crooked. Please don't tell me the cop is crooked.
So, you been drinking tonight? Don't worry, I'm not gonna bust you. Believe it or not, I was young once too.
Just a few beers.
Well, alright then. You know, if you were my daughter, I wouldn't want you out looking, you know, with someone like him. Really can't trust boys that age. Only got one thing on their minds. I only live a few minutes away, in case you want to take a second, settle down, clean yourself up.
Dude. What is happening?
Is this house here?
You said you lived down by the brook.
No, East Garden.
Oh my God, man.
You know, maybe I should talk to your parents after all.
Oh my God, he's gonna threaten her to
No.
go with him.
My mom's away.
I don't like liars. Are you a liar?
No?
Well, come on now.
Seriously?
1016 over on Rockland.
My God, man.
Looks like we'll have to finish this some other time. Have a good night now. Be safe.
She back on the same street? Man, this is frustrating. She's still walking during the day? She's been walking all night. Makes sense. All right, everybody, there you have it. That was The Three Men You Meet at Night. So, very scary, very horrifying type of story because, well, for the most part, it can happen, right? It's reality. Unfortunately, there are men out there that are like predators or perverts or whatever, mostly at night, even in the day as well. But most of the time, you find them at night, where they're like seeking, one thing. Or they're just looking for trouble, or they're getting home from a party or whatever, they're drunk, they're under some kind of substance, right? Most likely you're going to find these type of guys at night, even women out there. But it is mostly scary for a woman, especially a young, attractive woman walking at night. It looks like she lives really far away because she's walking a lot at night, or maybe she's just taking a walk. I don't know, but looks like she's trying to get home from a party. And so she's just walking at night, which was it's a terrible decision, especially in this type of town. It looks really lonely and just kind of outskirts of a city or whatever. So it doesn't look very, very good to walk out there. But she's, regardless, she's walking out there and she's dressed like she just came from a party, which she did. We find out through the second guy, right, that comes around and picks her up. As she's walking, the first guy she encounters is this truck driver who's clearly seems like a conservative type of person. Usually conservatives, speaking in like political terms or whatever, they carry the guns, all of that, right? They always talk about the First Amendment and things like that. So I'm guessing, right? But you see this guy that drives past her is just whistling at her, and as he gets past her, she sees the label in the back of the truck saying that, you know, he's loading up his gun, you know, keep honking while I load or whatever. And luckily, he doesn't do anything to her. He just keeps driving, right? And this girl is terrified. She's becoming very anxious, very nervous. She's already stiff and nervous to begin with, right? Walking at night all by herself. With her phone, low battery, by the way, you know, we can see that later it dies. But while she's walking the first time, right, and this first encounter, her phone is still working and she's about to dial 911 after this first encounter. But she doesn't do it. As soon as the guy gets past her, she just puts her phone away. And if that were me, I would have called the police right away. As soon as I encounter that first, you know, weirdo that's whistling at me and all of that, if I was a woman, right, I would call them, go through with it. But she just puts her phone away, which is poor decision making there. She should have just done that. But this, she keeps walking. The second person comes, like the second car, and there's like, it sounds like, you know, young kids. I assumed, right? So it sounded like young kids just like screaming, whistling at her. This is when she panics and she starts to pick up speed, right? Not only is she walking fast, now she's beginning to run and kind of sprint on her high heels, or her really loud high heels, by the way. I mean, especially in a lonely street like that, right? Everything just sounds louder if you're alone at night, right? If you're walking at night. So she's running in these high heels, and then eventually she just trips, right? So when she falls to the ground, the guy stops, and surprisingly, the guy, at least the driver, seems very kind, you know, very reasonable type of person. He says, "Hey, we were just messing around. Sorry about that, right?" Cool. He apologizes or whatever. He like reassures to her that they were just playing, and you know, they shouldn't have done that in the beginning, right? But he tells her this, and she seems relieved now, and he says, "Hey, you shouldn't be here at night." Oh, and that's when he tells her, right? "You were at the party. I recognize you there," and she says the same thing. "I recognize you back." And he offers her a ride, and he says, "Do you want us to take you home? You shouldn't be walking at night, like by yourself, this late." Pretty nice, you know, nice chivalry, right? Nice chivalry going on there. So she goes into the car, and they drive her home. So they get to this light where, you know, past that light, I guess it's leads to her house, and she says it's straight, keep going, right? But the guy's like, "Oh, I gotta drop off my friend because of his curfew." So I was like, oh my God, they better not be lying to her, and then they both take her to another place and, you know, do God knows what. But no, he was telling the truth. They take the friend and they drop him off, and then the guy, as he's gonna take her home, he says, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna show you something." This is when everything just goes down south again, and I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me, dude? Like, she should have just said, "You know what, let me out of the car. I'm gonna walk, thank you." But no, she just says, "Where are you taking me?" And he goes, "Oh, it's just something I want to show you, right?" And he keeps insisting, like, "Come on." And she's like, "I'm gonna get in trouble." But he takes her to this, you know, camp, which looks like it just looks like somebody's backyard or like a big yard. But he takes her to this area, like behind like the trees and stuff, and he just stops there and tells her like, "Oh, I'm glad that we ran into each other." And so you can see that at that point he tries to take advantage of her, which I was hoping he didn't. I was even like, "Man, you better not be taking advantage. Don't do anything. Be nice to this woman." You know, but no, he takes advantage of her, and it's just another poor example of a guy, right? At night, especially. Luckily, the cop, you know, in the back, like, arrives. You can hear the sirens of the cop arriving, and the guy gets freaked out, and the cop gets off the car and says, "What are you guys doing here? This is private property." You know, just kind of speed through that. Eventually, the cop offers her a ride, and I was like, yeah, accept the ride from the cop. He's the law. He'll take you home, right? He'll protect you. So the girl does take the ride. You know, she takes the offer and gets out of the car from the creepy, you know, pervert guy that wanted to take advantage of her. She gets out, good choice, right? And goes into the cop's car. But unfortunately, the cop himself is also another pervert, predator type of guy. I mean, come on, man. At this point, I lost all hope in like the guys in the stories, in this story at least. I was like, all guys are just the same. You know, it's terrible, and I can see why a lot of women just generalize guys and say, "Oh, they're just looking for that one thing," right? So it's just unfortunate, but you know, this was taking place late at night, so this is most likely going to happen. You're going to find these perverted guys. Unfortunately, the law was also one of them, which I didn't expect that, and that was a heck of a twist there. So she is in the car, and he's just like starting to tell her like, "Oh, you know, if you were my daughter, I wouldn't like to see you with a guy like that." Already starting to display signs of like jealousy, possession, you know, control. As soon as he starts to say that to her, and he's like, oh, you looking like that, and like, hey, I live near here. Maybe you want to go and like settle down in my place before I drop you off. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? Seriously? You're literally scaring this poor woman more than she already is. And we know that that's the third encounter, right? So this is the third guy, and I was like, this third is gonna be terrible because he has, the upper hand, right? He has the gun. He has everything that can just, like, she's vulnerable, So he has the higher advantage. So he tells her, like, he offers her, to go to his place, and she says no. She wants to go to her place, and then that's when he gets really angry. He starts to kind of take that personal, and he says, oh, I'm going to tell your parents actually now that you've been drinking, right? He threatens her or blackmails her in order for her to, like, say, okay, I'll go with you, right? I mean, I can see that building up. So, instead he just says, like, I'm going to tell your parents about this. And she says, oh, my parents are not home. They're on vacation or whatever, which she shouldn't have told him that. But she tells him that, and he goes, okay, are you lying to me? And I don't like liars and stuff. And he gives her this creepy look through the rear view mirror. You can see his eyes just looking at her. Really well done there. Horrifying look. I mean, that was the scariest part right there. That was even scarier than her being behind the like in the backseat in the car with those two young boys, because at least they weren't looking at her. They were just kind of awkward but driving, right? This guy was staring directly at her in a perverted way already. So she was freaking out, and the cop gets off the car, and she obviously can't get out of the car, which just made it even more scarier. Like, all this panic starts to build up. She can't get out of the car. She can't do anything about it. The cop eventually opens the door, and he, lets her step out. And he doesn't even back off, like, to give her some room. He's, like, standing really close to her, which, we can see what's on his mind. And this is one thing that he was saying from the two young boys earlier, like, or at least the young guy that he stopped. Oh, young boys have one thing on their mind. Well, he was expressing the same exact signs, right? So, she steps out of the car, and he just... he's already looking at her up and down in a perverted way. He's ready to do something bad to this woman, and this is a moment where he gets, like, the call from the police department, like other police officers, and he has to go take care of that. And luckily the girl doesn't have to. Luckily the girl gets saved by that call. She doesn't go through that horrible process that cop had in mind. So he eventually goes, and he says, "Oh, we'll have to just save this for another day." It's just like, no, there's not gonna be another time. Like, that poor girl, if she's smart enough, right, she wouldn't be walking through that street alone anymore, right? Especially if she's thinking of running into this cop or something. So the cop leaves, and the girl just continues to walk. We then get this kind of, like, shot where it just cuts to the morning, and she's still walking. So I'm like, has she been walking all night? My goodness. So this is when, like, we get this kind of, I mean, at least the way I saw it, we get this symbolism where the kind of good people are stepping out now, which... they were, like, at least 3 people that we saw stepping out of the house in the morning. As she's walking past their house, we see this mom stepping out with her 2 kids. And it all looks kind of lighthearted now. This positive kind of song kind of also comes in. And she's just kind of relieved looking around the neighborhood. The camera pans over, and it's the guy that was being a creepy guy. He was the first encounter, the creepy first encounter. And then this is where she says, like, like, she knows the real him, basically. She starts to recognize how men behave at a certain point of the day or the night, right? So in the morning, the symbolism that showed, like, in the morning and during the day, they're very kind, they're very, innocent, all of that. Or not innocent necessarily, but they're just very kind and polite and welcoming. And in the night, they're like animals, predators, just seeking, something else. Hunting down, innocent young women like her and things like that. So that's what kind of came to my mind as she was staring at him and just kind of memorizing the details of the truck and his face as well. And then the film just cuts off there. So at the end of the film here, I totally felt for this poor young woman. These men were terrible people, and this is exactly why this young woman should have never been walking alone that night. She should have found some way to get through, get to her house with some transportation. But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts there. And people probably are gonna say, like, oh, it's not her fault that these guys are she shouldn't be walking at night. Like, it's not her fault why these guys are being pervs, and she should have every right to be walking at night. Absolutely, right? But I mean, the reality is that this is to be expected. So you're going to find guys that are going to want to do something bad to you. If you're a young woman walking at night and you're dressed, you know, in a very attractive way, and this woman, of course, this actress that played the girl that was walking in the road, she was a very attractive young woman. You know, I mean, as soon as I saw her, I was like, wow, she's a beautiful girl. And so, I mean, she's walking at night. These types of guys that have these intentions, it's not avoidable. You know, it's very likely to happen. So, and the final message I can get out of this film here is just, you know, I mean, for guys as well, guys and girls, especially girls though, right? But just don't be walking alone at night. I mean, you're more likely to run into people like this that are just seeking trouble or looking for something else, right? That is the very negative thing. So those are things situations we can easily avoid and stay out of. You know, everybody has a right to walk at night wherever they want to go, but don't be surprised if you run into people like this, you know, whether you're a guy or a girl. If it's a guy, most likely you're going to get robbed and beat up, right, by multiple guys. If it's a girl, we all know what's going to happen there. So yeah, we don't want that to happen. We can avoid the situation. So just be smart about if you're a party person and you're always out late at night, always take a ride from somebody that you trust, and don't drink out of a cup that, you know, that's just randomly there, that somebody just hands you. Make sure that you serve your own liquids or whatever it is, right, that you're going to drink, and you're always near that. Don't put it to the side and come back and drink it later. You know, if you're a party person, right? I've never really been a party guy, but I've gone to a couple of parties in my youth, right, when I was a lot younger. But I was never one that goes out to clubs or stays out late at night. I was never that kind of person, you know. But there are lots of people that are like that in their youth. So, you know, but goes out for both guys and girls. Like, just be smart about your decision making during those types of events, you know. So anyway, you guys, that's my little message at the end here. I hope you guys enjoyed the film itself. I very much enjoyed it. I thought this was a very horrifying film to watch. I'm really happy that nothing happened to this young lady, and she actually just came out, you know, unharmed, right? Very, very happy about. And then, you know, she even recognized the guy that the first encounter. You know, hopefully she was gonna report that guy, or probably not, right? Maybe nothing's gonna happen, but I'm glad she recognized where she, you know, the place she can avoid now, going through late at night. Hopefully she doesn't walk at late at night anymore. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this with me. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Peace.